How's it huffin', Jankheads? Welcome back to Spore. We're playing again, baby, and this time we have a kind of a unique challenge for evolution. We've played as an insect before, a couple of other arthropods as well, but this time we're taking on what I think could be nature's perfect insect. They're kind of dying en masse right now, so I realize that may not make a lot of sense, but in a lot of ways, I feel like the bee/wasp has kind of reached the peak of what the insect faction can actually accomplish. And so, I'm very interested to see how that kind of build plays in Spore today. First things first, we gotta pick ourselves a planet. I think, let's see, if we could find one that maybe looks, I guess a meadow would make sense. You know, bees do love pollen and all that. However, one that kind of looks, ooh, you know what? One that kind of looks like it has almost like a hive-like color to it on the ground, and then kind of like a green, like algae-filled water. I feel like that kind of makes sense for the bees. We want a hive that's, you know, strong, able to protect us, but then the outside world is just full of nature for us to devour and help grow. You know, that is also a crucial part of the bees' role in the ecosystem. We are going to go herbivore. There are types of predatory wasps. Nice, good get right off the bat, by the way. We got the 2 vertical eyes. That gives us an extra 5 DNA to start with. There are predatory wasps, and I do think there's a decent chance we take on some of their traits by the end, especially some of the more menacing ones, because at the end of the day, making a cool wasp thing by the end sounds pretty awesome. But bees themselves are herbivores, or, you know, pollivores. They eat honey or pollen. Do they just eat the pollen? I don't know. They eat it in some variety. I'm gonna call this okay, you know what, we're just gonna call this the hive, as that is the end of the day where all bees do reside. Now let's jump into it. Jump into cell stage, where we've been so many times before. We're going to immediately skip all of this, because good lord, have I seen it so many times. And here we are, eating the little specks of pollen that are sprout out in the water. Now, we're not very bee-like yet, but we'll try to get there as fast as we can. Now, first things first, let's think about what type of parts we're going to want in cell stage. Poison, I feel like, does make at least some sense. You know, if you get stung by a bee, you know, you're probably not going to die unless you're allergic, but there still is some poison in there. If you get stung by enough, I think they do kill you. I mean, you probably have to stung by like 1,000 or something crazy like that, but they do have at least some poison. And obviously, the number one thing we're probably going to need to get was the spike, which we get automatically, which we just did, which is great. What else are we going to want? Perhaps some cilia for wings. I guess that would kind of make sense, help us look like a bee. Other than that, though, you know, I'm not sure. We'll have to maybe think about it. For now, of course, though, we're just going to swim around and eat some stuff. We do already have plenty of DNA, so let's go and make the very first bee. Oh, whoopsie. The very first bee. I guess, you know what? Something we could do is, since bees have multiple different stages of their life cycle, you know, their larvae, their bees, there's probably more steps, but since the first stage is almost certainly a larva, we could kind of base this off that, at least one of the cells off of that. So let's start there. Let's go for something simple and very, you know, pupa-like, you could say. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know what that's going to mean, but we'll see. Okay, as far as color goes, I don't really know if we're going to be able to get the classic black and yellow that we're hoping for a honeybee here. Just because I'm really not sure if any of these are gonna want to give it to us, so we might just kind of have to go for a general yellow and get the full color scheme later. Maybe go for something like that, just because it's got little flowers on it. That's kind of cute. Kind of makes it look like pollen is stuck to us. I like it. We're gonna go, let's go for a more honey yellow than like a bright neon yellow. Looks great. Now this, I guess, right, we're still a larva. You know what? We're still a larva. We're still a pupa. Those are different things, aren't they? Those are probably entirely different stages. Either way, as far as I know, those things are usually white. So we're going to go for something more like this for now. And I'm just going to name you should I name you pupae or larvae? I'm going to name you barvae. Bee larvae. Makes sense. Makes sense. Let's jump back into it, keep eating, and then I think next stage we'll try to go for something straight up more bee-like. I did just kind of give this thing some extra speed, whereas if we did get just 5 more DNA here, we could actually get our stinger going. So you know what? Let's just do that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now that, my friends, is a little tiny cellular bee. I did pull up some pictures of bees just so I could try to get the overall shape right. And they do kind of have like a 3-section body. Sometimes they're a little bit more 2-section like from what I can see, but they do kind of have heads, you know, the middle section, the back section. I'm gonna remember this correctly. The middle section is the thorax, and then the back section is the abdomen. I remember that because it doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Now, we are absolutely engorging ourselves on this beautiful little flower that we have found, a bee's favorite thing after all. I did give us that honey yellow back. I tried to give us a couple of pairs of the flagella, kind of to mix it up, make one look like, oh, see if we can maybe sting one of these guys to death. Make one look a little bit more like wings, while the other ones are a little bit more like legs, kind of just looking like the same thing at this point. But hey, at least we do have our stinger. I wouldn't mind getting some poison, and we should be able to, oh, well, we should be able to if I can just, like, get one to attack me, but then I'm gonna need to be able to follow it and sting it again, which could be hard. Oh, okay, well, there's a Celia. Okay, that made it easy. Now, do you want to attack me again? Yes! What? What just happened? Okay, that Squidward died, but he did give me a poison piece, which absolute bullshnarky. But hey, at least we got some Celia, so we can actually get our wings going. I think I'll get enough for another pair of legs for now, and then we'll slap on those wings. But I do want to find another Squidward, so I guess let's go see if we can sting one of those bastards to death. Oh, Squidwarda, where are you, bro? I'm gonna sting you. There he is. There you go. All right, I had a brief moment of not finding any of them, but now that we have some more, we simply have to go until we slow down enough and then did some damage. Now follow him. Hello? There we go. Wasn't moving for a sec, but now we're fine. Okay, so now this maneuver could be... Oh, never mind. Honestly thought he was going to run from us, but I guess he forgot we even existed. And there you go. Now, by the end of the cell stage, we can have wings, at least 2 pairs of legs, and a stinger that is poisonous. So nice. I'm feeling pretty good. And we should actually think about what type of food we're going to want to eat in the long run. Like I said, bees, they're herbivores. They eat pollen. We know that. That makes sense. But there are plenty of wasps that are predatory. I mean, like goddamn tarantula hawks, just to name one. A super cool thing that is in fact not a hawk, but a wasp. And, you know, it just feels wrong to not include that at least somewhat. So, maybe... You know what, also when I think about it, the best insect mouths are definitely in the carnivore section as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, in order to get those mouths, we're at least gonna, we'll at least end with the carnivore mouth. I think that's all that matters. We might need to be in the carnivore as well. Okay, you know what? I think we'll at least try to be an omnivore, because there's no bug mouths in herbivore, and if I am stuck with making a bee with a horse mouth, that just doesn't feel right to me. So, okay, all right. You know what? We have plenty of DNA anyway. It's evolution time. Let's give this little guy an update. Alright, here we go. Now, we are a very similar build, but built for predation. We have our big old stinger on the end, and now are equipped with a nice old big pair of jaws. We got our wings and 4 legs, so we are moving nice and quickly. We can slow down whenever we want to give something a sting, and then we can put those jaws to work immediately after. Hopefully I can kind of like, I guess those guys are kind of hard to sting. They're pretty covered in spikes themselves, but all right, we're just gonna keep moving on. We're gonna focus entirely on chomping down on some meat, and I guess we're gonna hope we can end somewhere in the omnivore area, and we're gonna end with the carnivore mouth, and hopefully that gives me the carnivore mouths. I never remember how this works. Let's just keep moving for now. We actually gotta find something we can eat other than these guys, because they are a little bit spiky. Okay, actually did some good damage there. Can I chase these guys down? Oh, almost could. Almost could. They do have soft little booties, but while they're facing me, I can't really get in there. Come on, come on. Don't eat them, Ducky. I need this food. I need this food. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Get out of the way, you big duck bastard. Duck's the natural enemy of bees. Okay, we got a single piece of meat and then got almost bit in half, so... This is going pretty good so far, I guess. Yeah. Oh, okay, a little omnivore to kill. Nice, hell yeah. If you can kind of pin them and then just chomp them twice before they can just, you know, spurt away from you, then you can actually get those guys and use them as prey if you're quick enough about it. Now, those guys I can also kill. We did get electric. Is that something that we're going to want to use? You know what? Maybe when we're a creature, having the ability to charm, because I think we might kind of go, like, in the middle, you know, halfway between friendly and the aggressive, because, like, that's kind of what bees are, you know, they're very aggressive when you actually, you know, come across them. They very much so feel like they're just heat checking you constantly and trying to see if you'll flinch, but, you know, they also play a very crucial role in the ecosystem, so I feel like we maybe kind of need to represent both sides of the bee duality, the duality of bee, you could say, and, yeah, go for right in the middle, but yeah, that does mean for now we just gotta hunt our little hunt to our little heart's content, our tiny little heart's content. Okay, another growth stage, definitely making some good progress here on the meat side. Oh, nice, okay, and we're almost already to omnivores, so we should be able to fairly easily make it there, and then, yeah, it's just a matter of prayer from there, I'm afraid. Alright, well, I'm not really sure what other upgrades I want at this point, but we do have plenty of DNA, so I guess let's take a look. Can't afford those. I could slap a poison on there finally. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to go for it after a certain amount of time. I don't know, does bees, when they're actual animals, having the poison spit ability make sense? I mean, they're probably going to have, I guess they'll have charge because they'll have the stingers on them, which I guess we could turn into strikers. Probably have strike, bite, and then do we want to also give them poison? Kinda. I mean, kinda. Alright, you know what? We'll just throw some little poison glands back here. I won't necessarily try to hide them in the spike or anything, but we're just gonna... You know what? Let me take you out and then do these and then see. Does that work? No. Okay. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, okay. And it deleted my stinger. Put the stinger back, make it nice and big, put the poison glands as close to it as you can, and we'll just add a little extra firepower for the end of stealth stage at least. We'll see if we want to keep it after. Come here. Nice. Those guys can be kind of hard to catch. They're pretty dang fast. There's also a lot of these eggs everywhere, which I can't even eat. Oh, but they do turn into these things, which thankfully we are surrounded by a gigantic cloud of poison, so it does kind of make it hard for things to actually get near us. Nice. Okay, we have definitely become a pretty damn efficient cell stage hunter already. Oh my god, there's just meat everywhere right now, dude. I just flew through that last mud stage, and would you look at that? We're a bee with a brain. I'm not really going to be using it all that much, though, because, you know, I'm just a worker. I do what the queen tells me, and I do it goddamn well, and that's all I worry about. And there you go, people. We were a little alien creature, then we became a larvae, pupa, whatever the hell they're called, that sort of thing, with a little cocoon, whatever. You know, you know, the little white things. You know, and then we became a little bee guy, and then a wasp guy, and then a poisonous wasp guy. Did die a couple times, but nothing crazy. And we did end in omnivore. Now, right, we have both of these mouths here. Right, okay, so I think what I want to do is have them both when we end here, because that way hopefully I'll get access to the carnivore mouths, but then also still be able to at least keep this herbivore mouth so we can still eat grass. And so we can still eat pollen, excuse me. So that's going to be the plan anyway. But for now, we are going to make a little bee. I do kind of think, for our first bee at least, you know, I think we're going to slowly kind of grow into a big, scary wasp man sort of thing, you know, as you do, but I do think we're kind of just gonna start as the tiniest little guy you could possibly imagine, just to really get the bee experience, at least to start off. And with that being said, I don't really know what I want to add on top of this. You know what, we'll just kind of keep it basic. Alright, honestly, as far as the capabilities of Spore goes, I feel like this is kind of as close to a real bee as it may actually be able to get, like, in general. I mean, maybe having the actual insect eyes and the actual insect wings would help, but I mean, I got a tiny little stinger, it's got a tiny little poison gland on it, I got 6 tiny little legs, 2 tiny little wings, which aren't actual wings, but they'll get there, and then our big old cute eyes because we're just a little honeybee for now. And then I do have the carnivore mouth to kind of give, those bee mandible look, as well as to get the insect mouths when we actually evolve. But I do also have the herbivore mouth kind of just stored very small underneath that. And then I did just gave him a very simple yellow and black color scheme. I gave him the stripes one. He only has one stripe for now, but the bigger he gets, the more stripes he'll get, so no worries there. And here we go, everybody. Without any further ado, let's buzz on up to the surface and, well, let's start making some honey, goddammit. Come on, little guys. I know it's hard to swim, but you can do it. Wow, it's actually so, like, zoomed in. I didn't realize the camera changed how far out it was depending on how big your creature is, but we are very zoomed in at the moment. Come on, Hive. Follow your queen. We have a new realm to dominate, new hives to build, more honey to make. God damn it, I'm so excited. And here we are. Look at the little tiny guy. He literally got stuck on a pebble. That was actually adorable. Beginning of a new day and a whole new batch of honey, dude. I'm excited. So we got some friends very close to us, the Flurgles. We'll go over and talk to them right away. Yeah, okay. I guess let's go maybe look for some parts first. We are just a tiny little guy, but at least we can jump, get off the ground a little bit. But yeah, all right, let's go do a little bit of part searching. I guess it doesn't actually matter what order we do it in. Let's just go check out the neighbors. Hey, Flurgles! These guys got 1 attack, 1 social, classic weakling. You guys look like a whole bunch of fun. You know what? Let's make some friends. These guys look like little plant seeds anyway, so I feel like that makes enough sense to me. And that's all that matters, I'm afraid. You guys aren't here right now. Sorry to break the fourth wall like that. Any alphas? There's one. Let's get him first. And voila! Our first friends have been made. See, like I said, the bees are a natural part of their ecosystem, a crucial part of it. Without the bees, well, we'll all melt into puddles. Pitiful, pitiful little puddles. But we have the bees, so thank God for that. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to make friends with everybody around here. At the end of the day, bees are rather territorial. So if something looks a little bit, like it might be challenging my honey monopoly, then we might have to strike back, all right? The stinger might have to get brought out. These guys are already in cocoons, kind of crazy. Kind of means they're a little hard to talk to. I'm just going to go ahead and steal their bones, and we'll leave them be for now. Let's go see what the other neighbors' vibes are. At least one of them will be horrific villains. What is the arch nemesis of a bee? I guess bees don't really have a lot of, like, predators, I feel like. I mean, like a bear, I guess? Or humans, probably. You know what? If we find bears, we're going to wage a full-scale war until every last one of those furry bastards' heads is cut off. Hello! My Tosie, you're cute. Kind of just a little blue slug guy. Yeah, you know what? I'll let you live as well. And I think, yep, nice. With just 2 other species allied, our brain is even bigger. Frankly, our brain is probably bigger than we are at this point, and you tell me how that makes sense. Now, before I evolve, there's probably some more simpletons around that we can exploit. These guys got 1... Ooh. Okay, these guys got 1 attack and 2 social. So socializing actually might be kind of hard. But you know what? I don't really like the look of them. They're kind of giving me bad vibes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take them out. Starting with this guy right here. Spit. Charge. Sting. Nice. I guess technically the charges are sting for now. But we'll try to change that up once we get some striking parts, I do think. And this battle should be easy enough. We do have both, eating parts. So we can eat our enemies as soon as we kill them. And regain our health. And yeah, I still have to hunt 3 of these guys, but at least we got 1 alpha, so we'll get a part out of it. Well, there's some pretty resilient turds, I'll give them that, but they are turds nonetheless, and if the alpha fell, then you're gonna fall too, my friend. There we go. Alright, didn't take too long, and we did just destroy our first fellow species, keeping our, keeping our hive nice and safe, as you do. Let's go ahead and talk to our one last close neighbor, and then, yeah, we're gonna hightail it back to home, because it's evolution time. Oh, and never mind. These guys are also full cocoons already. I guess nobody wants to play with me. Oh, okay, actually, it looks like there's another species quite close. We'll see if they are perhaps still in a talking mood. Yes, indeed, it looks like they are. The Dougals. Ooh, okay, so they actually have 3 attack and 1 social. They have a lot of parts, so I am fairly inclined to want to see if I can do this. And I kind of feel like I can. If they attack me together, that could be a problem. But I do feel like I should maybe be able to... Oh, no. No, see, they're going to attack me together. This isn't going to work at all. This isn't going to work at all. All right. All right. Retreat to the hive. Retreat! Fellow bees! Please! Please! I am in need of your assistance! Okay, keep poisoning him as we leave. Keep poisoning him as we leave. Bees. No, those are the troggles. I don't need the troggles. Or the flurgles. I need my bees! God damn it. This ravenous pag of whatevers is chasing me down. Boys, come on. Come on. As soon as we make it home, there's just going to be a vicious swarm destroying these morons. And it's going to be fantastic. Please help me. Help me now. Are they going to help me? Or are we just like, are we just chilling? Are they not going to come closer? Because I could just, you know, I can spit at you all day, my friend. I got a whole gullet full of spit with your name on it. Oh, they're running. Oh, but this guy's coming closer. Okay, well, at least we can take him out now. Easy enough. All right, I guess that worked. Okay, you know what? Before we evolve, let me just get a little flock. A flock mate? No, a swarm. A swarm mate. Yeah. The first member of our personal swarm. And then we're going back, and then we're hitting them again. All right, there they are, my friend. There they are. We gotta take this slow. Okay, those guys got out of their cocoons. They're a little intimidating, but at least they're not, you know, super hateful yet. But all right, target acquired. Get in there, buddy. We're gonna both charge it. Oh my god, I kind of whiffed. I overshot. Oh god, he's dead. Oh god, he's dead. Oh god, my friend is dead. He's gonna die over there. Oh my god, this went so poorly. Any way I can win this, I think. Any way I can win. No, doesn't look like it. We can at least try to escape again. Nope, and we're dead. Okay, you know what? Perhaps our eyes are a little bigger than our stingers, you could say. And we simply need a little bit of a stinger upgrade. So you know what? Let me get my swarm member back, and then, yeah, we're just gonna immediately evolve. Wait, what? What the fuck? What the fuck is happening? Okay, so first of all, we already migrated, which is insane. That feels early. But then also a terrifying flop of... What is the goddamn word for it? It's not a flack. It's not a flock. A flock of birds just came over and attacked our goddamn hive. Birds would do that shit. They're probably the natural enemies of bees, too, just catching us right out of the air. God damn it. Okay, well, I wanted to get that part. I wanted to mate. I wanted to do all kinds of things. Wait, is that a mate that will potentially work? Because I tried to call out for a mate and no one showed up. But if we could mate before having to migrate, that would be super awesome. So, any chance I can mate? One of the babies is also doing it, but no one actually is going to mate here. Okay, so we have to migrate. Okay, well, damn. I am awfully slow, so this is kind of going to be this is going to be a bit of a strenuous migration. I am not going to lie, but I don't think I have another option. Wait, isn't there a way to like force this to like? Oh, that's not the button that I'm. Okay, and I've summoned my flock, Hey, boys. You guys want to walk to the new nest with me? I don't really have anything else to do, unfortunately, so I think we're just going to kind of walk together. At least they're bug-like. That's cool. Alright, yep. Some very large and very terrifying-looking things up there. Don't mind me, gentlemen. Just trying to grab some of your bones, and I'll be on my way. Hope you're not too attached to them. The fella who built them won't be using them anymore after all, so, you know, it'd be very nice if you guys would just let me take them. You are so scary looking. I am so glad that you aren't vicious, because, frankly, you have every right to be. But okay, we at least getting a couple more bones. This beautiful flock is walking with me. I see some more this way. Oh, no, that's going to be the poor way to go. Hopefully we're getting close to the new nest, because we've already traveled a little distance, at least. Oh, would you look at that? A nice, friendly village of mountain monkeys. It's nice to meet you. Don't worry, I'm not a dragon, so you know, I have no interest in ripping your limbs from your bones or anything like that. just carry on. I hope to never meet you again, frankly. You smell terrible. Ooh, there is an epic over there. A pretty cool looking one, too. He's got a lot of bones. But if I die out here, then we're kind of screwed. So we're going to go to the new nest first, which should be right over this way, I think. All right, little pollen first. That's fine. There they are. My bee brethrens at long last. Oh my god, that is a big egg. That egg is too big. We could fit the entire goddamn colony in that egg. You have no right laying that thing. How did you make that? You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're here. We're good. Okay. There's a lot of scary shit around here, so I'm kind of scared to meet the neighbors. We do obviously need to evolve. I do see some parts around, though, so let me grab those. And then we'll get moving on to B Mach 2. Wait, what the hell just happened? Hold on. I clicked on this fruit to make my guy go over there, and I jumped. Oh! What? I have no... Am I just finding out a Spore glitch? If you do that, but then jump before you get there, it just teleports the fruit into your mouth. So... that could come in handy, I guess. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to see if that actually works, like, all the time, or if that was just, like, a one-time glitch. I don't know. I don't know. But alright, we're gonna go ahead and breed up, and then we can actually meet some of the neighbors, because we'll have a little bit of extra firepower. So, this is also a bit of a moment of truth, because if we don't have the carnivore mouth... Ooh... we do not. So it gave us omnivore. Okay, so I guess all that matters at the end of cell stages is where you are in, like, the evolutionary thing. Okay, that is too bad. I do think, though, that if we wanted to, we could kind of just forego having that impressive of a mouth and kind of just focus on some other things, because this is a fairly lore-accurate bee mouth anyway that we already have. So maybe I'll just kind of try to keep these, and then we can upgrade the other stuff. I mean, we can get rid of these eyes and the cilia and all the little flagellas and stuff. We might as well. I do want some real legs. I'll try to have to see how small I can actually make them, I guess. Well, although at the same time, we're gonna size this guy up a decent amount as well. So, all right, let's do it. Alright, the only bug eyes we have so far are these. I can't remember exactly which ones which turn into. I think either one of these lines could have some useful stuff. We're gonna go for these, just because they're kind of the most bug-like that we have so far. And bees, I mean, they don't have 6 eyes, but, you know, we'll get to something more accurate, and until then, you get to enjoy what a bee would look like with 6 eyes. A big, fat, weird one. Big, fat, weird guy, but still. Now, as far as what else we're actually going to add here, let's see, we need our stinger, and then... I don't know what I'm going to do for legs here, because it does feel like, you know, I mean, these are bee wings, right? So upgrading it past this, upgrading the wings past that does feel a little strange. So perhaps giving us some real straight-on legs would be good. Maybe I'll go slightly more horizontal, so we can kind of make them slightly lower to the ground for now. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I did get these legs, which is actually a little bit of a blessing, because you can make these pretty insanely skinny, as you can see here. So we can really make them as small as we want. And then for feet, I'll probably just go for these. I feel like that's kind of the only one that makes sense. And then, okay, I'll see how many limbs I can actually put on this thing. But at least we do have some. So we could be landing on all of our flowers and such. Maybe stretch these out a little bit, but then shrink them. Yeah, okay, this is very bug-like, I do think. I would like overall 6 limbs. Wait, that is how many they got, right? Yeah. And then, okay, that does look like they kind of have 2 back ones and 1 front one, like kind of distinct structures. So you know what? We're going to make our first step towards being a bee person rather than just a bee. And we're going to get some little hands on these arms. Nice! And that uses up most of our stuff, though we do actually still have some extra room. We have pose, dance, sing. We kind of have a little bit of everything. We can't do anything too well, but we can do everything at least somewhat well, which is something. At least almost everything. We don't have charm, so I guess I might as well add some charm. Oh, we need antenna. That's what we need. No, okay, none of these are great antenna, but I guess these will do at least for now. Bees most certainly do have antenna, yes, okay. When I look that way, by the way, I'm looking at the bee pictures that I have pulled up. Very useful. What a bee antenna kind of shaped like? They're kind of like right angles, actually, which is interesting. What's the best, like, right angle that I can do? It's almost like this. We're definitely gonna need some other antenna. These are not quite cutting the look for me, but we at least have some, so we should hopefully get some more. They're kind of cute as well. Now let's just slap on some acorns on this thing somewhere. I'll just go for some side of face. Just give his face a little bit more dimension. I like that. Nice. All right, this thing is both very versatile and looking pretty cool, I do think. I'll give it a little bit of texture now. Bumblebees are hairy, so I guess we'll go for kind of like a hairy, like they're fuzzy, I guess I should say. Kind of a fuzzy golden base with that black striping on top, and then I don't actually know if he really needs any more, so I think we're just gonna leave him there. And this is now the bee dog. Yeah, I mean, you know, in order to get to a man, you have to start with a dog, so we'll start here. Great. All right, let's actually, you know what? I think that means it's time. I think that means it's time to end our first episode of Bee Spore here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of a brand new series. I'm going to do this episodically just like I normally do. Tune in for next episode where we complete the creature stage as a bee. This is what we'll be starting with next episode as. We're going to be slowly evolving into more of a terrifying wasp-like creature, and then even further into like a full intelligent bee man type of thing. You know, we'll make it work. We'll make them look cool. We'll make it work. But that'll be next episode. For now, I hope you enjoyed. Like if you did, I got more of Spore and other stuff coming next week. So stay tuned. Go check out the second channel. We got fun stuff getting uploaded over there all the time. Link to that is on screen right now. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, Jankheads. Peace out.